everyone. Hi guys. Hi Kenny, Darla. Come on, make sure the lighting's okay. And then nice and bright for you guys. I'll tell you what I'm going to do to start with. Oops, there we go. And then we are going to do probably a bit in serene. We'll see how we get on. But we were doing this series of charts. Hi Victoria. Hi Elizabeth. Hi everyone. Hi Pickle. Hi Loretta. Good morning. Good afternoon. Well, it's afternoon for me. How is everyone today? Right. Let's make sure. Hi Helly. Hi everyone. Right. So today, I was doing these charts with everyone a little while ago, and we did the budget pencils and the higher end pencils. So today I was going to do the watercolor pencils, and that's including the Neos. Hi Melody. Hi Darla. Hi everyone. So I thought it would be a good idea to just do this to start with before we get into any colouring. And then we can work out skin tones closest to. It's not going to be, that's why I've put here, it's the skin tones or closest in all skin types. So that's Caucasian, tanned, and Caribbean skin. So it's all skin colours that we're kind of going to focus on. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Louise. Hi, Clinton. Hi, anyone that's joining. Huge welcome to you all. So also, guys, I thought if we try and do this, I've got this in the post yesterday. This is the NeoColor World. This is number 3. Has anyone seen this? Have you seen a flip through of this? Do you want me to do a flip through before we get into doing the charts? Because we can try these out and these skin tones out. Not all of them, but we can see how it lays down. Because I'm sure that the artist does skin tones in watercolors. I'm pretty sure. Hi, Phoenix. So I was thinking that once we start charting them and swatching them out, we can try and put just a little bit into practice. We're not going to do a picture, we're just going to see how they lay down, because we've got all different skin colours in here, you know, what I would associate to different skin colours. Okay, I'll do a flip through. So what I am going to do, once we've done a flip of the Coleridge World 3, this is brand new, it's just come out, and that's by Emmanuel Collin. I don't know if you can pick that up because it's got gold foiling, but it's Coleridge World, and Emmanuel is spelled EMMANUELLE Collin. And if you go to the Coleridge World Facebook group, they'll give you all the details of the address, the, you know, I think it's in, I know I got it from some Dutch site, the website address that you can get this from. Hi Becca, good morning everyone. So we will be doing this, and the ones that we're going to swatch today, and it's just going to be skin tones only, is going to be the Faber-Castell, is it Albrecht Durer 120, the Caran d'Ache Supracolor 120, and the Caran d'Ache NeoColor 2s, not 1, number 2s. The difference is the NeoColor 2s are water soluble, number 1 is like a crayon and it's not water soluble, so you can't do all your mixing and, you know, how you would with a watercolor. They are watercolor in a stick. They last forever. They're amazing. You can do so many things with them. So we can do that. So I'll give you a quick flip of Coleridge World 3. As I said, this is brand new. And before I get into that, I just want to see, how is everyone today? How are you all? You all good? If you're watching this on playback, I hope you're all well too. I'm sending my well wishes to Rex Melody. You know I am. I hate seeing the fur babies ill. I hope he continues to sort of pick up and, you know. Hiya, Joshua. It's the afternoon. It is, what's the time? The time is, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? It is 3:15 in the afternoon. I wish it was morning. I'd have my whole day ahead of me. No, it's afternoon. Yeah, I'm okay, Darla. I'm all right. Andrew's sort of on the mend. He's not well, but he's on the mend. But I'm all right. I've been surprisingly okay. Yeah, no. Okay, 1 second. Oh, you got auntie duties this evening. Oh, bless. How old is it? Your nephew or niece, Pickle? How old are they? Okay, let's turn this up. So this is Coleridge World 3. This is watercolor paper at 250 gram. It is very thick and it's spiral bound and it's smaller than the average book. So this is an A4 piece of paper. It is slightly smaller in width, and if I take that down, you can see it's slightly smaller in height. Phoenix, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you, Victoria. It's life, isn't it? You know, thank you so much. You keep those positive wishes. I'm sure he'll be back on the mend in no time. Niece. Oh, she's 6 months. How blooming adorable. I love babies. I'm just like, how can anyone, you know, just think they're not adorable? They're adorable. Okay, so we've got Coleridge World 3. As I said, it's a manual culling. You get 28 images, but only 14. So you get 14, but times 2. So 14 images times them by 2. So you get 2 copies. You get a duplicate copy on in each book. So you've got, like, for instance, just 2 seconds, everyone. So with number 2, it's the same scenario. You've got, you know, these nice, cute little images of these little girls, and then you get a second round of them. I've done this one. I did this one recently. See, again, the colour washes out. I've got to do the background. That's why I've not showed it. So you can kind of see the kind of, like, colours I was going for. But I've not done the background on it. But they are so, so cute. Hi, Ian. How are you? So these are really cute, and they're so quick and easy. Hi, Dev. They're so, so quick and easy. So they're also a blast that you can put your watercolors in them and have, like, a great time with them. So I'll give you a quick flip through. This is number 3. This has just come out. I got this in the post yesterday. Joshua. Oh, Joshua, it's my partner. He's got a blood clot, but he'll be okay. Bless him. We're getting him on the mend. Hi, Diana. Yeah, that's, you know, I don't like to talk too much about stuff because it's a happy place, but yeah, he was diagnosed with it on the last weekend. So we're just getting him on the mend. That's why I've been a bit scattered all over the place with my streams at the moment. But I'm back to trying to get back to normal. Hi, Mum. So this isn't, as I said, this is number 3. It is on 250 gram card, watercolor card, and they are perforated at the top. So you can, once you've done them, take them out if you please. Hi, Beth. And you've got a mixture of different girls, and what I would, you know, associate, or what I would interpretate from being from different ethnic backgrounds, which is beautiful because you've got a different selection in them. So you can do, like, you've got short hair, long hair. They are beautiful. I'm going to zoom you in because you haven't got a good, there we go. You haven't got a good enough zoom for me. Hold on. There we go. So you've got little things added into them, and then they have kind of grayscaled it a little bit for you so that you can go along with that grayscaling. They're, you know, all different types of hair types. You've got different hairstyles. You've got short, you've got long, you've got, you know, a sort of afro hair. You've got thin, wispy hair. You've got all different kinds, which is really nice. Yeah, Susan's my mum. Susan Wilkes is my mum, Kenny. I love this front. This is the front cover. And as I said, I'm pretty sure there's a mixture here. Hi, Tess. You know, this is kind of like a mixture to me of watercolors and pencils, because there's pencils on there, but there's also a paintbrush, so you can put both. Bear in mind, it is toothy. It's a very toothy paper. So where it's toothy, hi, May. Where it's toothy, you've got a harder work lay down when it comes to pencils, because you've got to work that bit harder to get rid of those little lines. If you don't mind, hi, Zoe. How are you doing? So you've got a harder working sort of lay down for it. But if you do watercolor and watercolor first as a base, you will have an easier time with it. So, you know, this is the kind of images that you get. This is the third one. This is a new one that's just come out. So it's really, really beautiful. But then I think that about all of them anyway, you know, 1, 2, and now 3. They are stunning. And they're quick. For me, they're quick. They're one of those when you're not quite sure what to colour, you can do a quick lay down of colour, and, you know, you can go very, 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 very wild if you really wanted to and had the guts and the confidence of watercolours in them. I mean, look at this one. You know, the imagination behind these girls is really cute. Hi, Pamela. So, and this is all like curly hair. I love it. I love it. It's so cute. I know she's got a pigeon in her hair. That would be me. I love my birds. I've always got a tilly in my hair, so, you know. It's really cute. So we, as I said, we can use this as our practice. Love this because she's got little cornrows. Love it. Love that. And then it goes back to the beginning, as I said. So you've got 2 duplicate images of each one. So there's 14 times 2. So we're going to use this as if once we've charted them and swatched them, we can use this as a bit of practice to see if we can achieve something as or like, and just have a go with it. Then if my back is playing ball, hi Lou. If my back's playing ball, then we're going to stop this stream, open another stream, and do some more in Serene. So is that a good plan? We'll get going with this one. We will, hold on, we'll bring some lighting down. So we're going to start off with it. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what kind of watercolors you can get. I'm going to zoom out a second and I'll go through the different, this is a higher range, bear in mind. You know, I'm not saying that everyone, oh, I got my lovely little, look, my Mary Poppins coaster. Hold on, guys. Hi, Sue. How are you? Oh, tea. Honestly, love a cup of tea. I'm having those Yorkshire tea bags, Dev. Love them. Okay, these are the Albert Durer pencils. These are made by Faber-Castell. Again, with all watercolor pencils, so I'll go through. You've got, this is exactly the same colors and exactly the same names as your polychromos. So they're exactly the same. I just got to bring this up because it flashes out. 2 seconds. There we go. They're exactly the same names and colors as your polychromos, except your polychromos are not water soluble. This is water soluble. So you've got your selections as you do in your polys, and you've got your blues are here. You've got an indigo there. So you've got your purples, your pinks into like a reddy pink. You've got your greens and blues. You've got your more ochred colours and more autumnal colours and ochres and, you know, your cinnamons and flesh colours. You've got more earthy type greens and more carmines. And then you've got your greys and your metallics and stuff there. So these are the Albert Durers. They are amazing. You don't need much on the page for a lay down at all. They give a good payoff in colour. So I have swatched these out and I will show you if I can find my book. Is that when you try and find? There it is. There it is. Hold on. So I'll show you the full range of colours already that I've got swatched out. So the Albert Durers, here we go. They start off in, like, I've done it from yellows. I did it how they came in the packaging originally. So I've done it where there's no absolute, it's 120 this full set, but you can get them in other sets. If there's anyone that I've missed that's come in, hi Andrea, I'm really sorry, it's just I wasn't looking. Hi Honor, hi everyone that's joined, a huge welcome, thank you for joining me on this Saturday. So you've got these different colours. Now I have not put any water at these parts, but I have then faded them out into more, you know, a little bit of water, then a bit more, and then practically all water. So it's just kind of like a fade out. And these are the colours that you get in this 120 set. So there are beautiful colours in them, and you can fade them out. You can mix them. You can treat them like a watercolour. You can treat them like a pencil if you want to. They're versatile, and it's entirely up to you. So I have swatched them out. I'm sorry, I got like a hiccup caught in the back of my throat. So we have all those colours, and they are the Albert Durers. So they look like a normal pencil, but they do all these amazing things. So we're going to find what works with the lay down with them in skin tones. Then we will move on to the Supra colours. This is the 120 set. Again, you can get these in 40, you can get them in 10 or 15, am I right? Hi, Wendy. You can get them in lots of different sets. But this is the full set, and I was gifted these, bless her, by an amazing friend, Melody. She's a beautiful person. She sent these, and, you know, we've used them on the streams, and we're going to use them more as we go along. It's just trying to fit them and condense them into times that we're here. So, again, this is the colours that you can get. I'm going to try and take them out. I've got a pencil case coming for these, so I can finally put them in a pencil case. Okay, there we go. And put these down. So these are the sort of colours that, again, very similar to what you can get in the Albert Durers. They are expensive. I'm not saying you have to run out and buy them, but if you do want to look at investing into a good set of watercolour pencils, I cannot recommend the Supra colours enough. The payoff is amazing. The colours are amazing. Hi, Denise. Yes, thank you. And what about you? They are absolutely gorgeous. So we are going to be sort of looking at the skin tones, what we can use for skin tones and lay downs, and try and see what we can mix together. Now, you can't, in my opinion, just my opinion, you can't go wrong with a good Caran d'Ache set. They are just brilliant for payoff. So we will then be moving on to those as our second step to search out skin tones. Hi, Rebecca. And then final, we will look at our Neos. Again, this is the 84 set. And with the Neos, these are a watercolor stick, and I'm going to use this palette to see what we can mix together as well. So we don't just have to use one, we can use several, and we can lay them down. Now, this is the set that you get when you get the 84. You've got such a mixed variety of colors. And again, I'm not saying go out and buy the full set. You can, what I always advise and what I did in the beginning, I had a few of them, and I tried them out and loved them. That you can get smaller sets out there. You don't have to go out and buy a huge set. You can get tens, little tens, and these 10 sets come in a little tin, and you can get, I've given my mum a couple out of here, so that's why I've got one missing. But they're 10, and you can use them. And these particular colours are not in the set, so don't forget there are more colours than what's in the 84 set, but you can buy them singly. So that is what we're going to do to start with. Oh my lord, I've not come up for breath. So that's what we're going to be doing to start. Then we might stop and come back and do serene, but I don't want to do that in one. I want to do it to 2 separate streams. So I have sent these out to pretty much everyone that's requested them. I think I've sent them out to everyone that's requested them. These are the charts I made myself. This is the charts that I'm going to use to swatch them out. So we can kind of look at what we would use, and we can test them if we really want to, and see. I'm doing this as I go along. So this is completely, like, I've not prepared this. This is what we're doing on stream together. Got some paper towel, kitchen towel. I've filled up my water brush and I'm ready to go. I need a bit of tea now, and I might need to take my jumper off and just have my vest up because I am roasting potatoes over here. Right, if you bear with me, I'm going to take this big jumper off because I'm in a flirt, a fully woolly jumper. It's freezing outside, but not in the house. Andrew put the heating on, and now I'm like a baking potato. So just give me a second. Let me take this off, and then we'll get on with this. Oh, that's better. Oh my God. I was roasting. Hi, Candy. Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Sorry, guys, I wasn't looking at the... Did you ask something? Sorry, May, I didn't see. If I missed anything, I apologise. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Albert Durers. Oh, no, are you feeling all right? Oh, that's okay. That's what they're here for. They're here to share, and we're going to, you know, work stuff out on the string. Oh, just what you needed. Well, you keep yourself snuggly today, Anna. Watercolors are a learning curve. That's, you know, that's God's honest truth. There are... Oh, that's better. I'm so hot. I'm having a hot tea, and I'm super hot. So you can also use, if you want to mix colours, one of these palettes. This was gifted by Slim. This is one of the Caran d'Ache. I think it's a Querel palette. Hi, Gigi girl. Or G girl. So you can use these as well. But watercolors are a learning curve. May does a lot with her Inktense over on her channel. If you click on May Brox, there's 3 dots. You can pop over. You can see what she does with Inktense and watercolors. She's very skilled with them. Whereas I'm sort of finding my feet as well. So, you know, we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. Right. So we're going to just jump in, because that's what we do. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. So what you're all up to this weekend. Don't forget next weekend's cozy colouring night, Halloween cozy colouring night. So it's Jen reading with Pugs, and then you've got myself. I'm doing the UK stream, and Jen's doing the US stream. So it's going to be more or less a day of stream. Hiya. Oh, okay. Where are you off to on your flight? So if you've got your Halloween pictures, if you're not into Halloween, you don't have to do Halloween. It's just that if you're in the mood for Halloween, we can do Halloween. Hi, Victoria. How are you? So am I, Zoe. So much. I've got to choose a picture. Oh, you got your... I love my Polly's, Rebecca. Hi, Jen. Oh, nice. Safe flight when you do get on there. Yeah, I'm all right, Victoria. I'm okay. I'm doing good. Thank you. So I'm going to just use this for reference. So with Polly's, I've got this in my little book. Combinations that I kind of look at for skins is kind of like the light flesh, medium flesh, dark flesh, cinnamons, the pompine reds. They're for like the colours that I would use in. This is a good little reference. If you really... Oh, you're a flight attendant. Oh, amazing. I think that's my suggest a video topic. In what kind, Phoenix? Yeah, same here, Pickle. I'm looking forward to it. So this is like a good reference to do. If you've got a book or a notepad, I stick in not just my swatching of pencils, I will stick in colour combinations as well. So I will write down my colour combinations of like metals, just combinations in general that I use. I will stick in more there. You know, it's good to have a really thick... This is a thick book. Grab yourself a thick yearly diary. Hi, Dionia. I really highly recommend doing this. This is just something I do. Grab yourself a thick diary of 365 days. You can do it lined, or you can get like one of those bullet journals. Hi, Kiwi. And you can put everything in one place rather than having loose sheets all over the place. You can stick in all of your, you know, your details. You can stick in all of your, oh, excuse me, your swatching. You can put everything in here. So instead of thinking, oh, what, you know, what kind of thing can I pick up today? Where's that sheet of paper gone? I'm terrible. If I do stick anything down on a Post-it note, I stick it in here so that I've got it all on there. So this is a good reference to have, guys, and I really recommend doing this. This is like Pablo pencils, what I do. This is, you know, if I need to buy any more of the Neos. Any trees, this is a Chris Cheng thing. That was just gel pen doodling because I wanted to see the colours of gel pens. This is if I wanted to do the Afro-Caribbean skin in the luminance. And I just literally stick everything down. Prisma skin colours, you know, Instagram ideas, YouTube ideas, and things that I want to do. Skin tones in the poly, so bits of greys, blacks, the pompine red, the dark red, the light flesh, cinnamon, you know. I just stick everything down in here but the kitchen sink, and it does work. And then I kind of just stick anything that I need to do. Lips and eyes, like if there's any combinations I want to do, I've still got to fill some more in there. Front, a little rundown if I want to put, you know, front view face, not the side view, because you would do side view and front face slightly different on your shading, because there's more shading to the side than there is on the front. Skin combinations, I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it's the page. If I wanted to grab the singles in the, what are they called? The Kuretake brush pens. I'm going to get those in singles, so I'm going to tick them off as I go along. Just things like that, and that's just me doodling, love. Don't ask what I was doing there. So I just stick everything in here. They're good to have, and then I will eventually stick these and staple them in, so I've got a reference there. Also, another reference, guys, which I've showed before but I'll show again, is I made up these are color inspiration sheets. Have I ever had anyone else choose your picture and supplies? No, but that's not a bad idea. That could be a future stream. You choose my picture and what I was going to use. That would be fun. So I made these sheets up. And they're things that if I need some reference and I'm stuck on colours, this one's autumnal, so an autumn colour along colour palette. So I've stuck on, I did this on Microsoft Word, and I stuck on Microsoft Word all these different references. They're a good reference to have. So I've done it for, these are something you can do. Well, we're going to go through Phoenix. We'll get there. So I've done like toadstools as references. I've done forests. So we've got here, we've got the different combinations for like all the different greens and some ochres and browns. And I did these a long time ago. But if you've got, hi Elizabeth, if you've got Microsoft Word, go to Google, type in what you're looking for. So for me, I was typing in forest colour palettes, and I was shoving everything that I fancied on here, and I made a sheet up. So I did one for spring. I did one for fire, so if we're thinking of doing anything with fire. Metallics, so I've got all the metallics here. So we've got, you know, like golds, and if you want to put a bit of blue with the silvers, we've got here different mood rings, so we can use those. These are different metallic colours as well. We've got galaxy skies, you know, different colours you can use for that, so we can match our pencils up to those. These are a good reference to have. Summer colour, I did for summer, so I put all the summer colours. I've put up winter themed ones, so you can go through all the cold colours, the cool colours. You could do winter berry, snow weather, frozen moss, winter warm blues, all those types of things. Grayscale, if you want to do like just everything in grayscale on a monochrome type thing. Corals and seas, and what colours would you look at corals? So you've got all the ochres down here, the bright blues, you've got like all the oranges and the pinks and purples, and then look, you've got a little palette here, so you've got dark blues of the ocean, then you've got all these pinks and reds and ochres, and then if you wanted to go for the softer colours, you've got softer colours. So these, Rebecca, I made them up myself. I went to Google. So what I was looking at was soft tones colour palette or forest colour palette, and I made them up on Microsoft Word. They're really, really good to do. So soft tones, you've got all these soft pastel muted, like these are very soft pastels, and then you've got more sort of like a just a calming relaxation, very, very chilled colour. This is a 50 Shades one I made. So you're going to think, oh, here she goes. Not that kind of 50 Shades. 50 Shades colour along just means like 50 shades of the same colour. I don't know if there's 50 shades of each colour, but we, you know, if you actually put 50 shades of one colour, it will be all the tones in one colour. So all the pinks, all the purples. And if you wanted to do a picture in just one colour and use all the different tones, these are good. Dionia, it took a day. Then I did rainbow. I'm useless. Can anyone, hiya, Susie, can anyone recite what colours are in the rainbow? I can't, I'm terrible. So I've got it here in front of me. Then I did the sepia or sepia. And then I just looked at what colours you would use in order to create, you know, like those photographs that look vintage and old. And it's really nice. And Design Seeds do them as well. Yeah, May's just said that. Design Seeds do palettes. So you can check that out. Then we've got the wings. So I've done it as wings colouring. So palettes. These are more like the iridescent wings, and you might want to add. Then there's things like, this is more iridescence as well. But then you've got other wings like butterflies, and they've got other colours that you can match to them. And you can look at a fairy and see how to do like a see-through. Then we got, these are just very soft. That was for a particular one. These are very soft, like how to achieve a soft palette. Then I did blues, and I've got quite a few. I'm nearly done, guys. I've got the purple and blue, so how to match a purple and blues up. So this one's got both, as is this one, but this one's more towards blues. You got some reference pictures down there. These are really, really handy to do, and I highly recommend, if you get stuck on colours, make a sheet up, and this sheet will be so good. So good. So this is a night sky one. So I've used like how to do all your blues. There's also ones with reds as a skyline at the bottom, and you see all those little tiny dots and all those stars. You know, these are things that you can use, and they can be your reference pictures. Then I did cloudy sky. I don't know about you, but I get stuck on cloudy skies. So I'm thinking, what colours am I putting down to make them look like that? These are really good references, and they're so good to do. So that was it on those, and I hope that you got a little bit of an idea on the kind of like things that you can do in order to help if you get stuck on colour palettes. So these are also handy. Remember we did the budget pencil ones. So we did, you know, this is what we're doing now, but we're doing the watercolour. We kind of went along with budget pencils. We put some lilacs at the bottom because we might put a tone. And then we've also got like from Caucasian to the more olives to the darker skin tones into the dark, you know, Afro-Caribbean. Hi, Kenneth. Afro-Caribbean into really darker tones. So this is what we're going to do today. At the moment, before we move on to anything else, we're going to do the watercolour ones. We finally got there. Only took half an hour. So everyone grab your teas, grab everything, and then we're going to get in. Okay. We are going to just dive in. So like on these ones, we looked at starting off with, I'm just going to use this as a reference. We started off with very light colours, like a light flesh. So that's where we're going to start first. That's our starting point. That is our starting point. So yeah, there's so much. Go on to Google and it's great. And cleaning, I hate that job, Susie. So like we did, so in the Albert Durers, it's the same as the polychromos. So like the light flesh, the cinnamons and medium flesh are going to be the same, but you can mix them as well and you can make darker tones. So we're just going to grab those. So I have grabbed out of the Albert Durers. I've grabbed light flesh, cinnamon, medium flesh and dark flesh. So we're going to start with those tones. Don't forget, some of them will be pinky, but that's okay because you can actually mix them and we can use our board for that and we can try that. So I'm going to have to bring my tripod down to you guys because... Hold on, guys. There we go. So I'm going to have to bring that down. Stop shaking the camera. Stop shaking. There we go. So we're going to do that first. Hi, Tanya. How are you doing? So get a good amount on your brush, but, you know, we've got that to also wipe off. So we're going to go for the Albert Durer. So we're going to just put it first as a colour. Just as a colour to start with. Is that bright enough for you guys on your screens, or do you need it a bit brighter? I hate that job, Susie. No. There we go. Is that bright? Is that better on your screens? Okay, so I'm going to do this first with no water, and then I'm going to go for what I'm going to fade out, because we can see how it will look. So I'm going to just grab that first, and I'm going to add the water to it and see what it fades out to, and how milky and, you know, how light they do go. So we can see what we're doing. Ah, oh, Tanya, how's your recovery going? And you, Zoe, how's your recoveries? They both had back surgery, bless them. And then I'm thinking like cinnamon, and then we're going to mix them as well and see what we can do. So we've got cinnamon, which again, that's how it lays down without water. And then we're going to press a bit harder to a bit lighter. This is how we're going to kind of do them. So this is the watercolor one. So we're going to add the water there and just outwards. And they do fade out. They fade out quite a lot. Slowly but surely wins the race, doesn't it? Slowly but surely. As long as there's little steps each day, you know, and pain meds, my God, how much do we need those? Not that, I mean, I'm not encouraging that, guys. Okay, so then we got the medium flesh. Yeah, medium flesh. So again, this will be more for pinky tones into your skin colors. I don't know about you, but I put quite a lot of colors in my skins. So we're going there. Hi, Melissa. And then we're going to fade, add the water, and sort of drag that out. You can, if you want, we're going to mix some and see what we can come up with. But you can drag that colour out. Sorry if the water's not, you have to wait for it to dry. And then this is a really pinky one, dark flesh. I very rarely use it, but I use it like a nectar. Hi, Kiki. Zoe, snap, sweet, snap. Hi, Shara. 4 a.m. Oh my God, go back to bed. You're good for being up. Sometimes I go to bed all that time. But yeah, share what you're working on this weekend. If you've got any projects on the go, if you're going out and doing anything really exciting, you know, all that. So this is quite a pinky tone. The dark flesh to me doesn't represent flesh. I don't know why it's called dark flesh. It represents more of a pinky tone, but you can add that in. So if we were doing like, I'm going to just put in here light flesh. This is on that board. And then say we wanted a little bit to pink it up a bit, just a tiny bit of the dark flesh. We can see what we can create with that. It creates more of like a pinky flesh. So, you know, you can kind of like, I'm just going to do that. That's the light flesh and the dark flesh mix. So it goes like a nectar. So you can mix them. That's a nice colour. So that is, I have to do this as I go along. Let me write this down. That is dark flesh and light flesh mix. So the good thing with watercolours is you don't have to stick with one colour. You can mix it up. I need a pen. Why haven't I got a pen beside me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? 2 minutes. Well, not even 2 minutes. Less than a minute. Oh, hi, unicorn. So the good thing is that we can mix. We can mix colours. I quite like that, actually. So this is, so on here, this is light flesh. So we just put it. This is medium. No, this is cinnamon. Then we got medium flesh. Then we got dark flesh. And then we've got light flesh, and I hate that word, and dark flesh mix. So that's together. So you can mix. The good thing with watercolors, you can mix them, and you don't have just one solid color. You can get creative on this, which is the good thing, isn't it? So we can do that. Who's pre-ordered or got their Gnomes in the Neighborhood by Denise Cleet? Have you seen that? It's so cute. I got sent a flip of that by Laura Malone, and oh, I love it. Love it. Okay, so now we're going to go into more of an ochre tone, like a henna. So that would be Venetian red, or you can even use dark red. It's entirely up to you. So we're kind of just going to go for it. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and mix here. So that is Venetian red. I just want to try something, guys. I love mixing here. And I'm just going to do light flesh. I love these boards. These boards are great. So I just want to mix that and see what that comes out like. So rather than it be too in your face. So this is like a ochre, but it's more like a henna. So we'll fade that out. So you know, like we would if we had henna in our Prismas. That's more that. So that's Venetian red. And Venetian red and light flesh. So is anyone going to do or done these charts? I haven't yet, Tanya. I will get this. I haven't yet. I've not felt the need for that picture just yet. So that's like an orangey Venetian red. It does look, it looks a bit more orangey on camera, but it's not. So if you want to like tone anything down, don't forget you've got your creams and your white. So you can, or your ivory even. So you can add, I'm just going to, if you want to add ivory, I'm just going to add a little bit of that. You can really like water that down. You can add different colours. So I'm just going to add that into the mix a minute. And like we can see what we can do. So this is, hold on guys. This is that mix with ivory. So ivory change, look how much adding ivory can change a tone. So you can mix different colours. So adding ivory to a tone can change. Look at the difference. I know, Mum. So the difference between the Venetian red, like a henna, to adding ivory. Hi, Rosa. This is just a one on Amazon. I'll get the link for you in a minute. So adding ivory to things can really water that down and change the tone. And don't forget, this is just like going towards the Caucasian skins here. I'm going to do darker skin tones on this copy. So kind of looking at things we can use. Then like I do in most of my Caucasian skins, I add a little bit of like an ochre, coppery tanned colour. So we've got to find that. So we're looking at probably mixing again. So we've got burnt ochre. So this would go more for like a tanned, if you were from like a nice sort of exotic country, you got just a tanned sort of skin tone. So you got burnt ochre and brown ochre. Let's see what they mix, and a bit of ivory. Brown ochre and a bit of ivory. We'll see what we can do. So we're going to drag these colours over. So we're going to add a little bit down here, just mix in. So we can add, that's the brown ochre. And then we'll add a bit of ivory. So hold on guys, let's see what we can do. So this is more like a tanned. We can add a little bit more of a darker tone to that. That's the brown ochre in there as well. So that's more of a, let's add a bit more ivory. Yeah, it's more like a tanned. Let's add a bit more ivory onto that. So you can grab your ivory and just change the colour up entirely. So that can go for more like a tanned if you're going as an underbase. You will water that down even more if you really wanted to. And just go for a little bit more of a tanned colour. So we're kind of just looking at what we can do. Rebecca, email me. Hold on. Colour and chat with me. Hold on a second. At outlook.com. Email me on that email address. Hi Desiree. How are you, lovely? Have a great flight. Take care. Email me on that, Rebecca, and I'll send them over to you. I've got them on my phone. So we could just have a little play around. So that's more of a type, like a tanned. So that was, oh, good Lord. This was brown ochre. Why do I have to be so complicated? I do not know. Burnt ochre and ivory. And this one is these colours plus ivory. Okay, so we look at our more brown tones now. We'll go to more browns. The lilac you can add into this would be, I'm going to say like a violet. So at the bottom, you know, I add. Yes, sweetheart, I did. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, you know, like I put purple tones into my skins. I'm just going to wipe that a minute, guys. So I put purple tones into skins. So I always just add that at the bottom because that can be a good reference. And if you wanted to fade that out, we can. So that's how it would look faded out. So that one is violet. And then now we're going to pick out some browns and see what we can do some browns. Oh, I need to, I'm going to get some, oh my goodness, Honor, I can't get my words out. I need to get some ink again. Oh, I'm terrible. Okay, so they're more like a sort of Caucasian sort of skin tone. So I'm going to grab this before, let that dry. I know. I've printed off so much recently. So much. Okay, so now we're going to look at more of a brown tone. So things like walnut brown. So this is if you're going for a nice sort of Caribbean skin. You can even add this into tan skin. So we're going to add, once you activate with water, it changes the colour entirely. So it goes for more of a brown rather than a dark, dark brown. So if you wanted to lighten that up even more, again, grab your board, add some white or ivory or whatever you need to add. So we're going to grab our ivory and you can mix that and that just makes that even lighter. So when you put it onto paper, grab some more. This is a great thing with these boards and you can even fade that out even more. So again, grab some more. Just keep doing it until you've got the tones that you want. That's a good thing with watercolors. You can keep going with them. Oh, let me add that up. So you can see it goes from like a darker to a medium to a light brown. So this is like a nice brown to have because you can even fade that out. So you can keep going on these little boards here. You can just go from dark. You can even darken the top up a bit. And you can go from a medium to a really light. As you can see on the board, you got your darker colour, medium colour, and even lighter brown. And this is kind of how it goes. And you just, hi Christine, that's how it goes on the paper. So it's nice and graduated and you don't need to, that's your shading. Your shading's done. So we're going to have a go with this as well. We're going to put some of this to practice. So now we've got even different browns. So we've got, you can even add some sepia and you can add into there a little bit more of a lighter brown. So this one is burnt sienna. And then you can grab some of your ivory. So that's more of a chocolate brown. That's like a dark chocolate brown. So see, that's more of like a chocolate. So these are really nice colors. And then drag some of that brown into there. You can even fade that out. Oh, Christ. You can even fade that out even more. So you can change these colors up. It's entirely up to you how you like to do it. If you want to darken stuff up, you've always got black. Black is great. So you can add some black in and that will darken up that brown and that will be more of a dark, dark brown, like a really chocolate, deep chocolate brown. So you've got all these browns you can do. What's occurring? It's we're just seeing what we can do with watercolors. How are you, Chris, Caroline? Anyone I've missed, a huge welcome to you. We're just seeing what we can do with different colors in the Albert Durers. That is what is occurring. What's occurring? That's from Gavin and Stacey, isn't it? A program we have over here. Okay, so we'll add that back. So we look at, you know, these are all different tones. You can mix and play. This is just the Albert Durers. So more of tanned ones. You've even got Bistra. You can go down with some ivory. So I'm just Bistra and ivory. We're just playing at the minute and seeing what we can do. So that's more of a tan. That's more. The good thing is with these, you can just play. So that's more of like a, that's more tanned. You can add some more water to that and just play. That's like a Moana skin undertone. So that's just more like a tiki tan. And you can add some to that if we want to. So yeah, we're just playing. Oh, take care, Christine. That's okay. That's okay. So yeah, we can look at those tones. And if you want to go even darker, don't forget you can just grab your sepia and go even darker. So if you're really, really dark, you got an even darker skin tone. So Vicky, this is just a chart that I've done in my own time. I haven't used the Koh-i-Noor. I haven't used any Koh-i-Noor product. None. But they all kind of work in the same manner in the way of mixing and testing and, you know, what we're doing. All in the same manner. So we'll move over to the Supra colours. So we're kind of looking at just what we can do with these skin tones. We can try and use those soon. I suppose if you used a light flesh as well, we could try and mix that in with like a more of a, you know, different tone. But anyway, we'll see. So now we're just going to grab the Supra colours, so I won't confuse. I'll like kind of just cover that over so we're not got any confusion. Right, so let's put these away. So I'm going to put that one. Hold on, guys. Let's just put this all away, and then we'll move on to Supras and see what we can do with them and what colours we can mix. Because you have to mix with watercolours to get your achieved look. Oh. You guys, are you talking about ice cream? Oh my God, I haven't had ice cream in ages. I can't eat it now after surgery. I'm like, stop. Don't be jealous. You can have a scoop for me and I'll just sit here and pretend that I've had some. I love vanilla. Vanilla was my favourite. But yeah, I can't eat it now, unfortunately. My waistline will thank me, but my cravings don't. Okay, so now we'll grab the Supra colours quickly. Hi, Cheshire, how are you? So in here, we're gonna get. Oh, that's it. We've got some nice browns in here. Okay, so we've got things like the. This is Granite Rose. I'm going to mix this on this palette here. So we've got Granite Rose, but you've also got like Apricot. So maybe a mixture of those will be nice. Let's have a look. So we'll mix that. Yeah, see? That's more like a peachy tone. So this is a Supra colour. So I'm just picking those off the board. So this is Granite Rose and Apricot, and that makes a really nice sort of flesh tone. Again, if you want to go lighter than that, you can get your cream or your white even. So I'm going to grab some white. So, hi to everyone coming in. Vicky, this is the Caran Dash Aquarelle palette. So let me show you on Amazon. 2 seconds. So let me show you. So Caran Dash Aquarelle. Hold on. Okay, so it's called, this is it on Amazon. It's called Caran d'Ache Artist Watercolor Paint Palette. And it's a mixing board, and you can mix and wipe it, and you can use everything on it. Take care, Dev. So it's £10.52, and then it's the delivery in Great Britain. But you can mix. It comes like this in a pack. So it turns up in your door, and it comes like that. And then you just take it out of the packaging, and it's so versatile. So I'm going to also grab some white into that, and even water, like make that even more of a light skin tone, like you would maybe if you were doing Asian skin. They have like a very porcelain-like look, and it, you know, it's even brighter. So if I show you, it's even like paler. So you can go even paler, and that's with white added. So these are this is the super colors. This is blank, which is white 001. This is granite rose 493 and apricot 041. So those three colors can add, those are just two colors mixed, like an apricot, and then it goes even lighter, which can barely as just the base coat. And you can always add. So if you wasn't happy with that, you can come back in. You can add a tiny bit more of the apricot in. So add it on your board and mix it in a little bit more. And you can bring that in when it's a bit more dry and fade that out. So again, you can add on. It's so versatile. There you go, Pickle. That's one for you then, sweetheart. You could do this one. So you can add that in, and you can add a little bit onto it. And if you want to go darker, you can. So that's that one. And then we can get like a medium-y flesh, which is going to add a little bit of the salmon. So we can add onto this one. So grab our board. We've got our mix there, and we can add a bit of salmon in. So this is salmon mixed in now, and we can go more peachy. So what, you know, the browns are easy to do. The Caucasian skin's harder to do because you've got a mix. So that goes then with a bit of salmon brought into it. So you've got salmon there now. So kind of just mixing up. You've got like a mid-tone, a very pale tone, a more pinky tone. And then you can go for a brownish orange, which is this one. So we can add that on our board. So add that on, and we can maybe mix that in with a bit of granite rose. So we can try those tones together. Then we might want to water that down with some white. Hold on, we're just mixing up here. So we can add that up. Just add a bit of water into that. So yeah, we can just mix and see what we can do. Hold on. So we just go for it. Have I missed anyone? Who I missed? No one. I thought I've missed someone then. I was going to say, I'm not being rude. I've missed you. Who are you? Okay. So yeah, we've got, you know, more of a tanned look. But this is, don't forget, you would do like a base coat and mix other tones in. So we're just playing at the moment. We're sort of seeing. This is not Bible, you know. This is not Bible. It's just me playing. The white is going to be your savior, guys, because the white is going to be what we use to mix and water down stuff. So then we would maybe look at, hold on. This is more like a toned one. So this is Venetian red, but I kind of like a little bit more of a darker tone to that. So I'm going to grab burnt sienna. So hold on, let me see how this comes out. Ah, it takes practice. Guys, don't ever feel scared to try. It's fun. It's fun to try. So I'm just going to put a bit of darkness to that one. So that's a bit more orangey. I don't want that orange. So I can tone that down. Maybe with, I'm just having a look. I'm trying to see what I would want if I looked on paper. 1 minute. I'm just playing for a second before I tell you for certain what ones they are. No, I don't like that. Okay, we're just playing for a second. Just add in. Okay, so that's more. Yeah, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, okay. So that is more whiter toned. So this is going into a bit more tanned. Hold on. Let's see what that looks like. So that one is going more. We can add a little bit of something to that after. So that's more towards like a Venetian ready type, what we would use as hennas. But we need more tanned. What one can I use as a tan? Ochre, maybe. Let's see what that looks like. I'm just mixing for a second, see what we can do. Drag some white and ochre down. That's a bit too yellow. More of an undertone of pink. I'm just seeing, guys, before I tell you. It's more peachy, I suppose. No, not too. Let's go over to the browns for a second before I work. I'm going to work this out. So we've done the browns in. Her name's Jodie. These ones are the super colours. Before we do anything else, we'll try the browns. Hold on. So we'll go for brown first. We know you as Pickle. I quite like Pickle. Pickle's just cool. So we've got Bistro. I'm just looking at browns a minute. And then we'll do some colouring, I think, after. Okay, so I've got burnt sienna a minute. And then I'm going to add Bistro. Just going to see what that looks like. Quite like that. That's more of a... Add some white. Just need it a bit more darker. It's cool picking up tight. There we go. So this is Bistro, burnt sienna and white. And this is more of a... like a brown. More of a sort of browny tone. So we're just kind of going for what we can pick up and mix, really. So what colour's that? This one is umber. Let's pick up some of that umber. Let's mix that in together with a, pick it with a white, I think. Let's see what that turns out like. That's like a, it's like a brown. I know, it's terrible. I have that as well, but I have in the past, I've sort of got, you know, bits and then one at a time and sort of built my collection out, or 10 at a time. So that's like another brown that we can sort of use. If you want to tone that down even more, just add more white onto your board and drag that into your white. And see, that's an even like paler brown undertone, like a sort of tanned. You see, we're kind of just going with browns here, seeing what we get. So then we can grab, hold on, let's have a look. Then we can get get some sepia. Oh no, yeah, sepia. Always sepia. I love sepia. It just is a good colour. So that's quite a nice dark brown as it is. You don't need to add anything to that one. That's a nice dark one. But if you wanted to add, you can fade out into another colour. That's a nice dark one. And if you wanted to go even darker, grab your black, just a tiny bit on your board, guys, like the smallest amount. Oh, go even darker with that. Just fade that out. So that's this, all different brown tones are really, really nice. Really, really nice. Remember, guys, if you've got any questions or anything for me, just shove it in capitals. I won't think you're shouting at me. Just shove it in caps so I see it and it catches my eye. Because when there's chat, sometimes I sometimes miss things, and then I think, oh, I'm so sorry, I missed it. So just shout it out loud and proud. Okay, so that's sepia. So then if you want to go, I'm going to go for a really dark chocolate brown here, I think. So if we grab, umber and then a little bit of black underneath. We're going to try and go for a dark chocolate brown here. Okay, let's see. It looks black on camera, but it's not. It's more of a chocolate when it dries. See, that is that dark chocolate. What is my favourite watercolour pencils? I love them all. I know it sounds cheesy, but I love all my sets. But I love... Hi, May. Welcome back. I love my super colours. I love them all. I love them all. Love them all. So, yeah. What about you guys? You got anything? You got anything that catches you? See, that's nice. And then with this set, so we're going to look at a lilac that we would use as undertones in the skin. You know, like I use lilac. I'll show you as well in a minute what I'm doing in my free time, and then we can go and quickly have a tea and stuff and then come back and do some serene. How does that sound? I haven't, Beth, have you? I haven't personally. So we're going to look at a lilac, a nice lilac that we can do in undertones. And I think I'm going to say it's mauve. This is in super colours. So this is mauve. Maybe that would be as a nice undertone. So the good thing is with these pencils, they do really fade out well. So that would be a nice, like, you know, I put it into the skin tones. I put purples. So Beth, they're nice from what I've used of them. I'm quite impressed with them for a budget pencil. And I do want to do a budget pencil stream where we just use budget pencils only as our pencil of choice. Okay, let's grab our Neos, guys, because we're looking at just things that we can use and mix. Because watercolors are approached differently to what regular pencils are. Regular pencils, you use the one color, and then the watercolors, you mix them to make different tones. Oh, you love the Pablos? Yeah, see, I've been using the Pablos, and I must say, first time around I wasn't sure. This time around I like them. So it's just a matter of practicing, isn't it? So just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to just wash that palette off so we've got some room for movement. Hi, Chippy. Oh. Okay, because we'll do the Neos and we'll see what we can mix with them, and then we'll do some serene. I do want to quickly, sorry I was at a distance then, I do want to quickly just try some of these watercolour just on a face. At Amazon and they're for the 48 set, which is what I got there, £17. So they're not expensive. Okay, so I just washed that. So we're going to look at the Caran d'Ache Neos, the NeoColor IIs, the number 2. And these are the ones that look like a little wax crayon. So they are like a crayon. Oh, hold on, guys. Ooh, focus. There we go. So they're like they look like, the lighting's funny. Hold on, why has that gone funny? I'm going to have, there you go. So they look like a wax crayon, but they're a watercolor stick. They're a water soluble stick. And the best way that I have found recently to use these is on a palette and mix them. See, now I've done that, you can see the true color of how these look. So they're not as orangey as what they look. The lighting does that to it. So as you can see, you got some really pale tones into more of an ochre tone. That's more of a tan tone. And the browns, when you can mix the watercolors, mix browns much better. They are a watercolor crown, but you can use them. You can use these in 3 different ways, I find. You can use them straight to paper and blend out. You can use them from your water brush to your crayon, I call them a crayon, they're like a crayon, to your Neo and straight to paper, or you can mix them on a board, which is what I prefer to do. I like to mix them. Take care, Vicky. Have a good day. They are a watercolor, water soluble crayon. They are amazing. The pigment from a Neo is like no other watercolor that, personally, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you cannot get a better payoff in color. So you need some water on your brush, but you get such a payoff. May will tell you. May loves them, don't you, May? And they just are crazy amazing. So that one I've just put, we're going to mix. We're not going to just do one solid color. So this one was apricot, and then this one is flesh. And I just want to see how these mix. I mean, I love them personally. And again, you can mix with whites, you mix with creams. Hold on. I love the colors that they pay off. This is white as well. They pay off like no other to me. They are crazy good. So I mean, I've not done a lot of pigment here because I'm just doing just for the chart. But if you're using it for a picture, you can lay them down and you can get such a pigment. So we've gone from palest. Now I have mixed there a bit of apricot. I'm going to shout this out. A bit of apricot, a bit of flesh, and a bit of white. So we're going to go from our palest to our darker tones. So in with that, you can then go back in and you can grab some salmon. You can pink it up a bit. So we can add some of that and make it a little bit more of a pinky tone. So again, you go to your paper with that. That's more pink. I've got quite a lot of water on my brush at the moment. That's why it's not going to be as pigmented, because I'm doing it quite watery because it's just for the chart. Oh, 1 second. So, you know, it's kind of going by, they just dry beautiful as well. I love them. I love them. So then you can grab something like, give it a bit more of a sort of tan. I'm just going to grab raw sienna. So I'll tell you what I'm mixing, and I'm going to get that in on there. And then like a bit of white. You can mix all these colours together and a bit of flesh here. So raw sienna, a bit of flesh and a bit of white, and you can create all these different tones. So that's more of a tanned. So I'll tell you this one, I'll shout them out once, is raw sienna, a bit of flesh and a bit of white. So you're looking at the different tones you can get for skins. The first one is salmon pink, no, salmon, not salmon pink, salmon, apricot and white. And the middle one was flesh, salmon and white. So you're kind of just going to mix them up. You're more of a tan, more of a pale, more of a pink. Now, if you wanted to go a bit more pinky, like a nectar, you can add, I'm doing salmon. We're just going to play here because that's the fun part. So salmon, I'm going to grab a bit of the crimson, is it called alizarin hue? Just going to mix that a little bit. Let me see what that ends up like. Okay, so we need a little bit more of that. So this is more like a henna. You don't need a lot. You have the smallest little tiny bit. Yes, you can. When they are dry, make sure that the paper is bone dry. Otherwise, you're going to end up ripping the paper. When the paper's bone dry, you can then add your pencil on top. So this is a bit more of a pinky tone. So this is salmon and the crimson alizarin hue. So we can add that. That's more of like a nectar. It's more of a nectar pinky tone. Take care, Pickle. So once they're dry, you add pencil onto any watercolour as long as they're not metallic. If they're metallic and glossy, they are just going to slide. They will not lay down. They have to be a matte that you can run your hands over and it's matte. As soon as you add anything else to it, like a glossy, any accent of gloss, you can't. So I'm just going to bring some burnt sienna here. And I'm going to also get some white. So I'm just going to see. So this is more of a hennaed colour. So in with that, I'm going to put some sepia, just a tiny bit. You only need a little bit of a lay down on this. A little bit. You only need like, that is how much. You put a tiny bit into that. And that's going to start making browns. And then I'm just going to bring that in as a light brown. Again, these are kind of colours that I would just head for if I'm going to do skins. So you're going to kind of just add in there. But you can water this down. So again, if you wanted to add white, the autumn set's amazing, Beth. I love that. It's my favourite one out of the little mini set. There's colours in that you haven't got in your main. Okay, so we're going to go even lighter. I'm going to do like a clay colour. Again, don't forget you can do this and then put pencil on top. So that is just a very light one. Oh my God. Well done, Susie. I hate that job so much. Anyone else is with me? I hate doing the oven. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I'm going to get, this is Van Dyke Brown. So let's see what that looks like without. Okay, so we're going to add a bit of sepia in. And then we're going to go darker with this brown. So that's a nice sort of. Don't forget that watercolours dry slightly different to how they look when they're wet. Yeah, I love mixing them in a palette, Mum. And then I'm going to get a more, this is Toledo brown. So that's more, you don't really need anything with that one. And then you might want a little bit of sepia into the mix. Okay, so we're mixing Toledo brown and sepia, and that goes to, I've done this quite watery because I'm just doing it for the chart. So again, that's more of like a nice sort of chocolate brown. Yeah, you could do it as, you know, you've got to have a bit of texture to these boards. Take care, Shara. Have a good day. You've got to have, this has got a bit of texture so that it grabs. So when you do that, it grabs the colour. Then I'm going to get another brown into here. I'm just doing the browns as well. This one is brown. Who knew? This is brown, and we're going to add just brown on its own without any other lay down. That's just brown on its own. Again, if you want to darken while you've got the brown on the palette, underneath add in this one's Toledo and sepia, and you can mix, and it will give you a totally different colour altogether than your original. So that was the original, and then this one will be an even darker brown. So these are the types of colours. So they're the types that you would look at, and all I've grabbed there are just basic colours for adding and mixing. So a handful at most. These are colours that I'm looking at. So there's a lot of browns in there. I love doing the browns and the watercolours. You can also use the browns into doing like tree trunks and stuff, you know. Hi, Desiree. That's okay. What's got your attention, May? You're distracting. Anything exciting? And then I'm just going to get orangish yellow, which is quite free kids. Ah, mummy life. Bless you. So I've just got the orange, yellowish and white, and I just want to see what colour that makes. That makes quite a, so again, if that's going quite yellow, I'm going to add a little bit of salmon into that, and that will pink it up a bit. And if again I'm not quite happy with that, I can add a bit more salmon. Just pink it up and just see what we can make, because then that can go. I'm just going to do this at the side a minute. That's quite fleshy. No, I quite like that. Okay, so that one, I like that colour. That's more of a representing of what it can be. Okay, so that's white. That is apricot, and that is, not apricot, sorry. That is salmon, white, and orangish yellow. And that creates more of a like peachy skin tone. but you would water that down and maybe you would want to add something else on it. So yeah, I quite like that. So then if we want to go even darker browns than that, we've got this one. Here we go. Let's go dark. Let's go dark. So we'll do this and then we're going to do some, we might test a bit out and then we'll colour. We might do 2 streams today. We'll end one and start another. Okay, so we've already got those payouts down there. So I'm not going to use those. I'm going to grab brown, but I'm going to put more, just a little bit of the brown, and I'm going to put more sepia down than anything else. And I'm going to try and darken this one up and make this our darkest one. Maybe we can add a bit of charcoal. Let's add a bit of charcoal grey into that and see if we can make that more chocolatey. Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, see, that will be a bit darker and lay down, which is what I was looking for. Okay, so that's more, there you go. You see that? That's a nice skin tone. That is charcoal grey. That was brown and sepia, and that's quite a nice brown. I like that one. That would look nice faded out as well. So you would approach them differently, wouldn't you? And then even darker, I think I'm going to just use black. I'm going to use black and Toledo brown, I think. So I'm going to put Toledo brown down and I'm going to use a bit of black. And we'll chocolate that right up. That's like dark chocolate brown. And don't forget, you can manipulate watercolours. So that's more of a darker brown. So that's kind of what I'm thinking along the lines of. If I move this lot, hold on, because I have to put things away. I don't like things being out. So that one goes there. Just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's go there. That one. That one. That one. There. 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 Oops. There. I should just put them in. Right. Okay. So I'm thinking that we're looking kind of like these when we're looking at watercolors in particular, because they can be a harder one to do. Hi, Katrina. How are you? Kind of just like that. And don't forget, you can manipulate them and you can make them. I've done that as I couldn't be bothered. If you watch that, you write down as I shout along what I'm using. So these are the browns I'm kind of thinking along the lines of. That's more like a tan undertone. And then you've got more like fleshy tones, very pale tones. You've got kind of a more of an sort of, what's that, olive? This is more going towards sort of an olive tone. But it's just, hi, CB, how are you? So you kind of got an idea of the things that you can do if you mix on one of these palettes. So we've mixed on palettes with all of them. Hi, Emily. We've mixed them all on a palette. And this is the way that I approach watercolor for undertones anyway. So if I wanted to then apply them, I need to watch this back myself and write them down and do this properly. So like if you've got your Coleridge rod, this is watercolor paper, that's what I was saying. So you could, I'm not going to do a picture, I'm just going to show you how you might apply that now. So we've done the chart, let's apply it. So we're looking at, right, let's have a look. I might do it on her. So with her, if I'm going to do with the Neos, for instance, I'm going to look at the Neo types of tones that I've just chose. So I will grab my watercolor palette again. We'll just have a quick test out on what it would look like, and then we will go to our serene. And don't be afraid to try it. You can always use pencils on top after as well. So yeah, it's adorable, isn't it? Hi, Lynette. Hi, anyone that's joining. Huge welcome to you. Thanks for joining on your Saturday, where you know you have a life. Bless your heart. Take care, Beth. Hope she feels better. Okay, I'm just filling up the water because my brush needed a bit more water. Okay, so we'll have a quick test on, let's put this into action. So we've got our, I'm going to move this over. We've got our board, got our board here, and we'll just have a quick go. Oh, bless you, Susie. I absolutely love things like this. Is it hot there still? So it's cold here today. Right, so I'm actually going to put my jumper on, actually. I've got a bit colder now. I was hot, so hot when I first started. Wow, the conversion, Joshua, would probably be about £30 then, 30 English pounds. Probably, I'm guessing. Right, is your lighting, do you want me to turn it up a bit? Let's make sure. Is your lighting okay over there? There we go. Is that better? Is it all nice and bright on your screens? Right, so we've got our picture. We're going to just test out. So we're just going to use the watercolor for now. Again, don't forget your paper towel that you need to dab onto. So I'm going to get Flesh, I think. So we're going to grab the NeoColor II. Don't forget, it's got to be number 2. So NeoColor II in Flesh. And then I'm going to get some, was it salmon? And then we need our white. So we're just going to do a base coat only, just a base. So I might need a little bit more of that because it's a bigger, because we can add as we go along as well, don't forget. Okay, so we're going to mix, and you've got to be happy with your mix. So if you want to drag in some white, don't forget when you add onto your page, it doesn't have to be the final product. Susie, it's this one. So if you want to know what the board is again, guys, it's the Caran Dash Palette Aquarelle. So it's actually listed as Caran Dash Artist Watercolor Paint Palette. It's a mixing palette. It's a board. It's got the little hole if you want to hold it, but it's amazing, and it's got a bit of tooth and texture, and you can add any watercolor product on it. Okay, so I'm gonna just go in here. So I don't want too much on the brush, but I'm gonna have to fade it out. I'm just gonna go with my base to start with. So I'm just gonna like bring some in. It hasn't got to be your final product. You can wipe off as you go along and just add. And this is just the start. This is just the base. This is a starting point. So we're just trying this out. We're not doing the full picture. We're going to see what we can do with these colours that we've kind of done on the chart. So because we can do Caucasian and we can try the Caribbean skin as well. So we're just putting it to start with, just a touch. So you're just going to drag, and you can wipe off as you go along as well, and then see what we can do. So as you drag out, you can fade it out. So it's just a base coat. And don't forget, this particular book is watercolor. You dry in between applications though, otherwise you'll rip the paper. It doesn't matter if it's watercolor paper or not. It will rip if you over abuse it. So I'm just bringing it in. Hold on. And then around the edging after, we'll add in other colours and bring that in, like we did with our pan pastels. So we did that. We dragged other colours in, didn't we? So you just put in the lightest base coat down, just the lightest that you can go. You don't want to like go overboard with your first base of it. Your first base is just quite literally that. So in between applications, you're going to have to dry. So we'll start adding other colours in. Thank you, May. So if I grab my little dryer, and we'll start layering up in different colours. So the first application is just that. It is the first application. It is just to start it off, so you know you've got a base down. Of course, you can just do bases and not do anything else, but I would go for, you know, doing more with it. Hold on, everyone, 2 seconds. I'm going to have to just turn off. Just 2 seconds, everyone. I just have to get this. There we go. I don't know if would this make a massive difference if I take this light off a minute. It will, but I can adjust that. There we go. Just 2 minutes, guys. So dry in between applications. So this is just one of those dryers. I'm just going to try it out on the face only. This is just a Ranger heat gun. Just make sure it's dry in between. There we go. Okay, 1 second, everyone. I've got to turn the lighting down now. Okay. Right, and then, like, because we've got a base going, now we can start adding a bit of colour in. So now I would get something more ochre-y or a bit more of that crimson alizarin, whatever it's called, hue. I can't even say the word. So like I would with nectar and henna, I can add that in. So I'm going to add a little bit of that in before we start fading out and doing other stuff. So just a tad. So like, you know, I do henna. So I want to go like just to the corners a bit. I don't want to make it too obvious. So I'm going to wipe off as I go along and fade out. So just around the edging, you know, like I do sort of, you know, around the, just like starting to add. This is the crimson. I just want to see how this turns out. So, you know, like I would with henna if I use Prismacolors. So you kind of just bringing that over and around. So add in a bit more. We'll just see what we can do. Add in a bit more tone to her face. Because you can water it down and out. You don't have to just keep to one colour. You just add in as we go along. Oh, it's flashed out. Sorry, guys. Hold on. It's flashed out. I have to turn it down a bit. So, trying to add just a bit more. I don't know if you can see. It's not, the camera's not picking that up. I need to put it at an angle. Hold on. So this is the Neo. So we'll do it at an angle. So we're just going to bring that sort of red tone under. Around. This is just the base. We'll build up as we go along. Just sort of bring over and down before we fade out. So we'll bring it, we're just going to bring some colours in. So add some more of that over. So don't forget, watercolours are just that. They've got water in them. So they're not going to be as like in your face. You have to fade that out. So I've got to put that at an angle. Okay. So I'm just going to put a bit more of that crimson alizarin hue, I think that's how you call it. So again, we're going to bring some in. I'm going to wipe off a bit. And then a bit more flesh into there and just fade that out. So just be wary and mindful that your paper will rip if you overwater. So you have to be mindful of that. Otherwise you can rip the paper if you put too much water down and you've not waited. So we're just going to add like a, hi Robin, how are you doing? So we just try it and see how it comes out. So you just get the first base down really. We're just seeing if how this would work with the colours that we chose. So just get in there. And then again, I'm just going to grab some flesh. It's just add in as you go along. So flesh into there. Just going to pick up some of that on my water brush. It's got a fair amount of water, but not too much. We'll dry in between. We'll wait for it to dry. But you will add some pencil on this and it would look different. So you're just sort of picking up colours. Thanks, Rebecca. We're just playing. We're just what we're doing. We've tried to chart and swatch. So now we're just going to see how those colours would play out if we, you know, we apply them without using pencil. How this would sort of pan out, because we all use pencils, but how would we approach this with watercolors? So it's kind of just going along that and seeing what we can do. So just sort of like starting it. Hi, yes, Desiree, sorry if I missed something. Okay, take care, have a good day. I'll speak to you later, love you lots. Yeah, now I've grabbed some flesh and some salmon. Have a good day. Yes, go and have fun. Okay, so now we just grab those colours. So we're just sort of testing out how we would approach it. So maybe now, like if I was going to put some, oh, sorry about hitting the camera, guys. Take care, Desiree. So now I'm just grabbing a bit of mauve as well, because we could maybe try some of that in there after. So that's on there for after. However, first I want to put down, I might want to go a little bit darker with the crimson alizarin hue. So watercolors are, how many of you are quite intimidated by watercolors? I know I am. So I want to just go in a little bit darker with that, drop it in. But as I'm dropping it in, I'm sort of wiping off at the same time because I want to fade it out. So like grabbing some flesh, you know, just sort of seeing what we can do. Add some more. I want her a bit more pinky on the face. So maybe we can add, hold on. We can get some, what colour is this? This colour is salmon pink. So let's grab some of that salmon pink and we add some salmon pink to her cheeks. So just along and dot that along. So before we fade that out, let's fade in some white. So hold on, guys. Hi, Charlotte. How are you? So we're just testing out, because we've chose some watercolor skin tones. We're just testing them out. So we're just seeing what we can do with them. So we're just dotting along and just seeing what we can do and having a bit of just fun, really. Just having a bit of fun, seeing what we can do with that, because yeah, we're kind of just putting a little bit of color now where we, you know, where we wouldn't have had, but just with watercolors, no pencil yet. We might not need the pencil, so we're just trying waters. So we're just seeing what we can do and adding and dotting in as we go along. So we've got our browns as well, which we can try on another picture, but I might need to add pencil to a brown one. Maybe we could do that another day, because I want to do Afro-Caribbean skin anyway and see what we can do with that. Because I have got one on the channel, but that was a while ago now. I need to update. So we're just, yeah, we're bringing in different colours. Oh, nice. Just having a sip of juice. I've got Ribena today. Yeah, the ink tints are, I have got to do more with mine. I haven't done much with mine, I must admit, which is really bad. Hold on. So can you see like the types of colours that we're kind of going for? So then we picked up more of a brown tone. So I'm just going to pick up the Toledo brown a minute, because I just want to put a tiny bit into the mix. So I've just put a little tiny bit in that. And I'm just going to mix that in with the salmon pink. I'm just going to dot that in and just bring that in a little bit. And then we'll do some string, but I'll have to do that on a separate string so that people don't get confused, because they're going to say, oh, I didn't watch that one. I didn't know you were colouring it in. And I realised that I need to list them differently than what I have been doing. So forget the ears. The ears can be darker. So I'm just getting a bit of that Toledo brown into the salmon pink. You're thinking, why the hell are you mixing those two colours? But they seem to work. Now I'm just going to get more fleshy tones. So I'm going to get a bit more flesh. This is flesh. Let's mix in a bit of white. So that's flesh and white. So let's mix in that. Okay. Let's add that in. So you can add after, you can add pencil in. And then we might want to bring a bit more of that red underneath. And then a bit more of that flesh colour down. So you've got to be mindful that it will start to peel, so you have to be careful. Thanks, Charlotte. This is just playing around to see, because we charted skin tones, and I'm seeing what those skin tones would look like if we applied them onto paper. So it's very, very, very quick. I'm just trying to have a look at what we could possibly do if we did add them onto the paper and what they may look like, because so you know, things look different on a piece of paper than they do on an actual image when you start it. So you know, I put the little bit of, this is the mauve and a little bit of the lilac. I'm just adding a little bit in before I want to wipe that off and sort of fade that in. So again, I want to come under here with that lilac, just a bit, add some of that lilac in, just bringing in a different tone. Thanks, Katrina. I'm just trying to see what we can do, because I'm new to watercolors. I'm learning as well. You know, I haven't got the fear. I'll just dive in. I don't have the fear. I just kind of want to just have a go, because we've done that chart and I want to see if I've, you know, done it right. I'm saying, oh yeah, we choose this, we'll choose that. I'm not blooming tried them, so we'll try them. Can't really go wrong though, can you? It's just like playing around with colour. So yeah, it's kind of going along, you know, these sort of lines. Now that has to dry off a bit, otherwise we're going to end up with like a mess. So I don't want to oversaturate the page, but watercolors they've got a look about them when they lay down, don't they? So I'm just adding a little bit into there. So then you could get your grey, your charcoal grey. That's it, May. Just get stuck on in there. So this is charcoal grey. Oh, no, sepia, sorry. Sepia. And then on the, you know, final bit, so if you wanted to darken and shadow anything, just get on in there under and just shadow up. Just shadow up. So we're just trying this out. That's the best way. Just try out those colours. And if you didn't want to, so that's got a bit of a shadow underneath her chin. If you didn't want to, you know, use pencils and you really did want to venture into trying watercolours, then it's the best way to just have a go. Just go for it. So just dive on in there. If I just turn that lighting down a minute, you can kind of see. Can you see? It's kind of like we're just playing at the moment. So there's the skin tones that we charted do work, thank goodness. And it's the same. If you want to do these flowers, say they're hydrangeas, aren't they? So they're like a pale blue. I'm not doing them, I'm just showing. So this is light cobalt blue, and then this is lilac. So light cobalt blue and lilac. Say you wanted to do the hydrangeas. Hi Connie, how are you, my lovely? So we'll put that down there first. So just the base of that. We're just playing, Connie, for a second. So I'm only going to do 2. We're just trying out the skin tones, really. But say you wanted to do the flowers, and then sorry, Kenneth. Kenneth, I didn't mean to have that. I'm not meant to do that. You're meant to be here. You're not meant to fall asleep. So now you get the lilac, and you can fade that in, but you wipe off as you go along. So you kind of just put it into the corners only. Yeah, so like a hydrangea would. And then just kind of drop it in there at the corners, and then grab your light blue again and just go downwards, not upwards, and it will fade it in so that it's not an obvious, there's a blend. It's like not obvious, if that makes sense. So again, grab those like purples. So grab the lilac. So that's in there, but you don't want it as Joshua, it's lovely, isn't it, these books? So then grab some more light blue. So grab some light blue in there. And then sort of bring and drag downwards into it so that it has a blend. And then you're wiping off as you go along. The wiping technique is great. And it will just kind of just all blend in. It will all blend in together. So you can go back when it's dry slightly, add a bit more blue. You know, you can add as you go along and then kind of just go from that. But the watercolors work. You can do this completely by not using pencils, if you please, but you've got to let it dry, and then when it dries you can add pencil detailing, like you can add all those lines. It's the same with the hair. You can grab the hair as well. So watercolors are very versatile. Now, so we have achieved in nearly 2 hours these watercolor charts, and we've applied with the NeoColors only, not anything else. We've applied those colors we chose onto this little girl here. So we've got a little bit achieved today with that. So she's like, she's looking more pinky on camera, but she's not. She's more toned. And then, you know, we can sort of play around. So we can do some serene next. But I'm going to do it as a separate stream. So I'll be back in, say, I'm going to go and have some lunch. I've not eaten anything yet. My lunch is 5 o'clock. I'm going to quickly grab some lunch because I've not eaten. I'll come back and I will be back very shortly. So I will schedule my next stream. I'm coming back and we're going to continue with, hold on, I will show you. We're going to continue with this lady that we're doing on streams. So we'll be back with her. So I'm going to grab something quickly to munch down, and then we're going to come back to this lady. So zoom out. There we go. So this is our next stream, which is going to be very shortly, say half an hour, and I'll be back. So we have done on this stream, we have done the watercolors, the watercolor charts, and we've applied them just on one on the Caucasian skin only. And then I'll be back and we're going to do this for a little bit. So I'll see you all very soon if you join me. If you don't join me on the next one, which you have a life, guys, you have a life first, then I will see you on Tuesday. So take care. Hopefully see you on the next one. Lots of love. Bye.